haters, welcome to TSG Uncut. I'm your host, Sean C. Now, I know you guys seen from the title and the thumbnail that we have Kevin Samuels on the thumbnail, but I thought it was appropriate to have him on there because the Godfather tried to warn women today that about their actions, right? And even though explicitly this is not another Kevin Samuels video, I do have a clip that we're going to see of Kevin Samuels. It's going to talk about what's going on between men and women today, and in particularly between black men and black women. So I'll leave that little nugget for you for later. But because of a recent video where we talked about single moms, I want to clarify something about that video, okay? Obviously, when you're doing this YouTube thing, you make a title and thumbnail. I want to get you in. I know that the quality of the product here, the videos here on this channel are really good, okay? So I want you to get in there, but I want to give you, obviously, a message. And I say that to say, in that single mom video, I really meant to delineate that you use the term single mom because that's what we're talking about. But I really want to make a distinction in that last video between single moms and baby mamas. And as I stated in that video, we're talking about a difference between attitudes and behaviors, right? I do not believe that all single moms is bad. Because if I were to think that, and if you were to think that, some of you all came up with a single mom. I don't know how your mom was, but my mom is amazing. And if you don't know, go check on my channel. She and I did a video together, and you'll see how awesome my mom is. So this is not to disparage, all single mothers who are trying. But there was a difference. There is a difference between the mindset of, hey, this happened, this event happened, and I've learned from it. And so I'm going to try to make better choices. You know what I mean? So I grew up an only child. My mom I didn't have brothers and a bunch of brothers and sisters running around. My mom didn't do that. She was like, okay, this happened. This is my son. I'm going to take care of my son. I'm bringing all this up to say because there's a lot of things that we're going to cover in tonight's video that are going to touch on some other points and some other video clips that I was not able to get to in my last video. And if you haven't seen it, check it out. But before we get any further, I got to ask you that consider subscribing to this channel. You will not regret it. Again, the video quality is really good. Also, shout out to the newest members, my G's, my OGs, my triple OGs, right? Members of the channel. I just put out a members only video, and I will continue to put out exclusive content that you're going to find if you're a member, right? Discussions, deeper discussions and talks. Oops, sorry, went to the question today. Wrong one. All right. Deeper discussions and talks that I'm not going to be able to have the time to put on YouTube. So we were around 10 subscribers, less than 10 subscribers away from being 35,000. So my point for bringing all this up is to say, if you are not subscribed to this channel, subscribe to this channel. We talk real talk, real men and women, so we can obviously have some real results, or at least try to work towards being the best version of ourselves. Okay. So enough with that. I like to give a shout out to the gents that are in the building. We're not going to do this too long because I want to get straight into the videos. Also, I don't want this to be a 3-hour live stream. I want to get in, get out, because I have another video that I'm working on for you guys that I would like to get out tomorrow. And the only way that's going to happen is if I don't do a 3-hour live stream. Okay? Let's see who we got up in the building tonight. Shout out to Kyle Goodman. My man, what up, fam? Kyle, thank you so much, man. Kyle, did you enjoy that members only video, man? Let me know. All right. The next member only video I'm going to do is actually, I'm going to go through for my members. I'm actually going to go through some comments, and I'm going to answer those comments in the video. So that should be a treat. So you guys, see what kind of questions I get, and you'll know how I'm going to answer it in the video. Okay. So that'll be the next members only one. Shout out to XL Pro. salute to you too, brother. Thank you for being here. Longtime member of the channel. Shout out to Parental. He said, salute to you, Sean. Thank you, partner. I appreciate you, brother. Let's get into this, man. I'll do more shout outs as more people get in here. But I know you all seen this video probably circulating around on social media right now. It's a very short video clip I have, but this is the one that's going to start us off. Not exclusively about the topic that we're getting into tonight, but there is a reason why I'm using this one first, okay? So let's get into the videos. Put a 1 in the chat when I play this, so tell me if y'all can hear this or not.
So I went to a singles event, and when I got there, it was literally 90%.
Can y'all hear that?
And I was like, I'm gonna go now.
Did y'all hear that? I'm gonna run it back one more time. It is a very short video. Okay,
so
y'all
I
heard
went to a singles event, and when I got there, it was literally 90%. And I was like, I'm gonna go now.
Listen, I ain't gonna hold y'all. This woman is gorgeous. Jesus, I'm talking about she got some like greenish eyes. Insane. She is absolutely beautiful. Look at that natural, beautiful hair. All right. But thank you, partner. I appreciate it. So how many times have we seen these video clips of these women going to singles events and barely any men showing up? How many times have we seen that? And the reason why I'm starting us off with this video discussing this is obviously because it's relevant. It just came out. But it goes into the larger focus of today's discussion. And that is the reason why men aren't going to these single events, ladies, is because they feel they're not going to get anything out of it. All they have is a bunch of desperate modern women. Obviously, listen, it's women who probably don't have the time to date regularly. I'm not going to disparage all women for going, but I will say there are a faction of women that are in there that don't want to date by conventional means. They are looking for that come up. You know, they are looking for someone that's going to come there and they got money. They are looking for a dude to fund their lifestyle. And so, again, you know, like to me, I was one of the OGs of dating online, right? I'm talking about I was dating online so early that people was like, oh, you must be weird or something to go online. I'm like, no, that's not, I don't think I'm weird. Okay, I'm a little crazy, okay? I'm a little touched. But the reason why I thought back in the early 2000s, very early 2000s, that online dating was a potential good thing at the time. At the time, I was young then, okay? Don't hold a brother for that. But the reason why I thought that online dating was a good opportunity was because I was a working professional. Going out to the bars and the clubs wasn't working. And I figured you can whittle down what you're looking for based on your preferences, right? Based on the criteria you have checked off. And I will tell you that in some cases, in the early 2000s, when it was brand new, there was actually still some decent women on there. It wasn't this craziness because nobody wanted to be that person. So I already was intrigued by the fact that women would think that, hey, this is a convenient way to try to whittle down and find someone, you know. And I've met some really good women online during that period of time. But again, with the creation of social media and stuff like that, in addition to the online dating thing, yeah, it's out of control now, right? It's just set up basically for men to use their money and their credit cards to potentially get a match, right? And so it's crazy. But anyway, we're not going to stay on this for too long. Anyway, I wanted to start us off there because, again, ladies, the reason why there aren't men at these single mixers is because men are just done with modern women's BS. They are done with all these requirements, right? Like some women are not interested in getting to know the man. It's all about their time clock, and men are just done. And so there are consequences to our actions, right? There are consequences to the actions that modern women have taken. And in this very next clip, this 46-year-old woman is going to learn far too well what accountability looks like. Here we go. Shout out to Los D. Go over to his channel, Crypto TV. Go check him out. There you go. Learn Crypto TV. There you go. What up? What's good, family? Shout out to you in the chat from Learn Crypto TV. Yep. You want to go to this brother? This brother been in crypto for a while. Okay. Also, you know, this dude travels. So, you know, if you want to learn about crypto, potentially giving you the freedom to move and travel or retire in the future, you want to go to this channel. Also, he's a really good dude. You won't regret it. Please go subscribe to this channel. Los, thank you for being here, brother. I appreciate you. So, again, back to this. Check this out.
Oriented or not, because the truth is the person's going to stay with you based on your actions.
Yeah, Diana, but here, this is the part where accountability comes in place, because females hold the key to sex and men hold the key to commitment and marriage. You're not going to get those things that you want in a man if you don't operate in a sense of what that man wants in you.
Do
Diana,
how would you know?
Your own reality tells you that, because they're not giving you that commitment. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like Diana may be leaving. Are you leaving, Diana?
Diana, come on.
I was literally almost crying about this stupid piece of garbage, and now you're basically telling me that
Let's talk about it. It's all about taking accountability. Let's talk about it.
So I started this. Oh, wrong one. See, I'm already out of practice. What is going on with me today? I don't know what's going on. Shout out to Michael, man. Uncut. That's what we're doing it today. That's right. We're doing this shit. I mean, we do almost cursed. We're doing this uncut today, bro. Thank you for being here, man. So I'm going to actually talk about this in a different aspect. I'm going to say this. I understand it's hard when you hear or when you feel as a woman that you have been in these relationships, they've been tough, you don't feel like you got what you wanted from that man wasn't the man that you thought he was. Maybe you thought that that man could change and be better. Maybe there was expectations that you had on this particular man that he did not fulfill, that he basically let you down. He did not meet the expectations you set. And here's the thing. The equation to being disappointed and not being disappointed comes down to our expectations. All right. I say this all the time. If you set a really high bar for something, right? Oh, let's take the Deadpool movie, for example. All right. Deadpool and Wolverine that just came out. And you set this really high bar. And then you went to go see the movie and it was a complete and utter turd. I'm talking about a complete dud, right? Or it don't even have to be, let me rephrase that. It don't even have to be a complete dud. It could just not have some elements that you thought. Imagine if you went to go see Deadpool and Wolverine, and Deadpool and Wolverine barely even fought in the movies, or it was a weak fight scene. You would feel let down because you would have expected for this to be a knockdown, drag out, all out brawl between two people with healing factors, right? I say healing factors because Deadpool has a dead healing factor. But the point is, if you didn't see that in the movie, you would be let down by it. You would say, this don't make no sense. How did we have Deadpool and Wolverine and they the fight scene was, 10 seconds. You would be let down. You're like, wait, all this hype and all the stuff we saw in the previews wasn't what I got. That's why I told y'all about the thumbnail. So I'm like, hey, let me temper your expectations. This is what we're talking about, even though we will see one Kevin Samuels clip. But I want to let y'all know that Kevin Samuels said exactly the things that we're going to talk about in today's video. And he talked about all these things. So I didn't lie. But again, you can have your expectations high today thinking it's a Kevin Samuels review. And it's not. Okay? It's not. So I get it, ladies. The men may not be the man that you want, the way you want, how you want. But when we bring people into our lives, or we allow people into our lives, we have to take accountability of that, And I've told y'all all the time that I was not perfect. Matter of fact, my direct quote for me talking about not being perfect in relationships is, I believe I've said multiple occasions on this channel that I'm a trout mouth heathen, okay? Or at least a reformed one, all right? And I said that jokingly in jest, but it's also to let you know that in order to move on, in order to get a better outcome in the future, you have to take accountability of your actions in the present. And far too many ladies aren't doing that. Far too many ladies are like, well, it's not my fault. Well, if you keep getting the same results over and over again, is it not our fault when that happened? Is it not our fault when we continue to get the same results? We keep running into the same type of people. At some point, either remove yourself from that environment or work on yourself so you can choose better. Maybe it's a lack of something within you that is choosing bad people to be around you. Successful people don't hang out with broke and poor people. They ain't got time for that, because broke and poor people are gonna hold a person who's operating, and doing their thing. They're gonna hold them back. That's the same for business as it is for life, as it is for relationships. It's that simple. All right. Michael said, sure, I ain't perfect, but I'm damn sure close. Oh, hell, so I like them. Thank you. The other side, thank you. Other side of Vegas. Shout out to the 702. Accountability aside, they want to be accepted for who they are. Yet most want what they aren't willing to give. Yeah, we're gonna see some of that. We're gonna see some of that in here today. Okay, again, think of today's episode as a branch off from my single mom video, but we are talking about accountability in regards to it. Okay, so let's get ready for the next. Shout out to Preston. He said, "What it do, TSG crew?" Preston, great to have you in here, man. Thank you so much, man, for being here this evening. All right. Now, I know you guys like this dude. I like this dude. But you know what? I'm just let the clip play for itself. But you already know when you see this clip pop up, you know this dude be holding these women accountable. But here we are again. She's going to give away the secret. She's going to give away one of women's secret. Oh, yeah, ladies, I know. She going to tell the secret that y'all don't want, or at least one of them, about accountability, about arguments. Check this out.
Because I do have a smart mouth. I am a little sassy, but I have the right to be. Look at the material. I just don't like a man that likes to go back and forth. Like a little bit, you're a man, I'm supposed to shut the fuck up a little bit. But it's like, why are we going back and forth? I just want to win the argument.
Oh, you want to let him win the argue just to argue?
I just want to argue, go back and forth. That's sassy.
So it's sassy because of the fact of the matter is that you're wrong. And I'm trying to show you that you're wrong.
It doesn't matter if
excuse me, I was still talking. Thank you. That's sassy. See how that shit work? You got the right nigga now. Excuse me, ma'am. It's still not your turn to talk. I am still on the mic. Like I said, nothing wrong. Women, y'all supposed to want to fuck the man that can teach you something, correct? Don't you want to fuck somebody that can show you something? Don't you want to fuck somebody that can lead you? So why the hell when I try to lead your ass in the right direction of this motherfucking topic that we talking about, you get mad because I ain't let you win the goddamn discussion? Y'all motherfuckers is backwards as goddamn crisscross clothes in the 90s. That don't make no motherfucking sense. You want to fuck with a boss ass nigga. As soon as you get the boss ass nigga, you want to treat him like the worker. You were fucking with me because I can lead you. You was fucking with me because I can teach you something. You was fucking with me for all those reasons. And then when you get me, your ass want to win the goddamn argument. No, back to the partners with that dumb shit.
He said, back to the projects. Let me put this up on screen, man. This is crazy. Check this out. This is insane. Now, I only have a couple things to say about this, right? You see how they always go to the Kevin Samuels thing is valid. What does Kevin always say about modern women today? Modern women today, when they can't win an argument, they want to use shame, insult, guilt, and they need to be right. Sign language. And this woman literally just said in front of our faces, using sign language, because it is more important for her to win an argument, to feel, notice the word, feel as if she's right, than it is to actually be right. I want you all to take that into context for a second. Think about that. Think about how dangerous that is. If we have a bunch of women in society that is more concerned with appearing to be correct, appearing to be right, than actually being right, than actually getting to the truth. They care more about the appearance of being right. They care more about the appearance of looking like they've done no wrong. They care more about the appearance of what people think about them, about getting a rise, particularly and especially of a man, to serve what? Their own selfish needs and insecurities. Ladies and gentlemen, and I'm not just saying just ladies and gentlemen, if you are guilty of this, you may be a narcissist. If you are guilty of just needing to be right for the sake of being right, the problem is already with you. You have, boom, you ain't got to go to therapy. Just go ahead, super chat, something like that, right? Go ahead and do that. Cash App me, and I'm going to give you the tea. I'm going to tell you where probably most of your problems stem from. It's easy. If that's who you are, it is easy to diagnose part of the problem that's in your life. Because just changing that, just changing the fact that you can't keep your damn mouth closed when somebody's trying to give you the truth, tells me everything about you as a person than it does whatever situation you're trying to make up. This is a huge problem. She said, she started off, look, I'm going to back this thing up. I want you to listen, and I'm going to stop it, but I want you to listen to how she started the argument. This is something that women do. They'll slip in the fault, and then it's a but. This is the way they roll out of the accountability. Check it out. Listen real closely.
Because I do have a smart mouth. I am a little sassy, but I have the right to be. Look,
I do have a smart mouth. And I have a right to be sassy. I have a right to be this way. Sure, okay, you have a right to do anything you want. But think about it. Just because you have the right, the ability to be able to do something, doesn't mean that we should, okay? I have the right to walk into a bank, okay? I do not have the right to hold them up take their money, have hostages. I do not have the right to do that. Yes. Do I have the ability to do it? Absolutely. But I don't have the right. And too many of you women out there think you have the right to talk to people any type of way, to think that, oh, I'm, a queen, I'm this, that. I can talk to people like they peasants. You ain't shit, ma'am. You ain't. Ain't nobody putting up with that because they deserve the opportunity of respect. Everyone deserves the opportunity of respect until they take that away from themselves. But as another sentient human being, you do not have the right to be able to talk to anybody any kind of way. And this is the delusional mindset that we see far too often from modern women today. This woman gave away the damn playbook.
Got the material. I just don't like a man that likes to go back and forth. Like a little bit, you're a man, I'm supposed to shut the fuck up a little bit. But it's like, why are we going back and forth? I just want to win the argument.
Oh, you want to?
Did you hear that? Okay. That's all I needed right there. I just need to win the argument. Just listen. Just listen. Look, I'm sorry. It's 14 seconds. I'm going to back this up and I'm going to stop it at that 14-second mark. Okay? Literally, ladies, I want you to listen to how nonsensical this shit sounds.
Because I do have a smart mouth. I am a little sassy, but I have the right to be. Look at the material. I just don't like a man that likes to go back and forth. Like a little bit, you're a man, I'm supposed to shut the fuck up a little bit. But it's like, why are we going back and forth? I just want to win the argument.
I just want to win the argument. You have a bunch of women. You have a bunch of women in society that are so screwed up, so messed up, so toxic that they speak just like this. This is not isolated. Other women may not feel the way she do, but they act the way she just spoke out. And they don't even know it. Because in their minds, what they're doing is an appropriate way that they treat people. A lot of you women are walking around with a bunch of trauma from your past. And because you're trying to compensate for it, right? Y'all like to use that word with us. Well, you're trying to compensate for what you ain't got for your lack of height. You're trying to compensate for your lack of money. You're trying to compensate for what you ain't got downstairs. This is like what y'all like to use. But if we went to go flip it and use it on y'all, you're like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. Man, look, I'm going to catch some of these comments because I got to hear what y'all talking about on this one. Okay? I got to hear what y'all talking about on this one. I seriously wouldn't have missed the logic. Of course, Preston. He definitely go ham on them chicken heads. Yeah, he do. You might have to run that back. I exactly ran that back. Gaslighting, yes. Hey, gents, I know you guys have heard or seen this, and some of you guys may have experienced it. Have any of you all, let me know down in the chat, have any of you all have been in an argument with a woman and she says to you when you're trying to tell her correctly or you're making a good point, did she say that you're gaslighting her? All the while in the discussion or the argument or whatever you want to call it, this same woman has been gaslighting you the whole time. But she uses the term. Or you have someone who's a narcissist calling you a narcissist. Okay? Okay, maybe I'm a narcissist. But ma'am, you're displaying the same traits. And think about this, gents. A lot of these women are selecting toxic men. They are saying that they are choosing toxic dudes. So the dude that's supposedly a narcissist, is supposedly a gaslighter, is only a reflection of that woman, of you, man. It's you can't, and Kevin Samuel said, you cannot make this up. You can't. That's why when women like that last woman start talking, I'm like, look, I'm already done. There is, if it's all possible, I hope this person never has to cross paths with me ever again. Because there's no reason to really spend time around someone like that. Someone who won't listen to logic and who won't listen to reason. Craziness. It's just me, Q. Hey, shout out to you, brother. Thank you for being here. What up, TSG in chat? Thank you for being here tonight. I appreciate you. Retro Big Cat. Well, she was dead wrong. Yes, she was. Well, what's good, everybody? Thank you for being here, Retro Big Cat. I appreciate you being here. You have the right to plead the fifth, miss. Fifth. You have the right to plead the fifth. Miss me with the chicken shite BS chick. Yep. My mom's boyfriend is exactly like a girl. He can be pretty petty. I'm thinking Mr. Petty Betty. That's funny. At least she was honest. No, listen. I respect the honesty, but you know what? Women, cute. The thing about it is that I get crap all the time on this channel for the videos and the stuff that I post. But all I'm doing is shining a reflection on the behaviors that they're showing. So you're saying at least they're being honest, and that's what this channel is. It's showing particularly men, right? It's predominantly a men's channel, but we have our ladies too, and we're going to respect them, right? We respect anybody who is for changing this crap right here, okay? The ladies and the gents of this channel. I will say this though. They're putting it out there for everyone to see. So I'm glad that it's being put out there, okay? Whether you like this channel or not, whether you can stomach some of the videos I put out, because I know sometimes it hits home. I ain't gonna lie. Why do you think I make the videos that way? I want it to hit home. There's a reason for it. But it's a reflection of what we see in society today, okay? Shout out to the champ. Thank you for being here. Those are the chicks that think it's okay to put their hands on a dude. That is a whole nother discussion, and we do need to discuss that. I think I have a video with some clips about that. I'm writing this down because I don't think that type of video will do well on its own on this channel. But I will say that I think that is an excellent discussion for the members only chat or the members only videos. So I'll do a members only videos and we'll discuss some of these women who tend to devolve to violence because they think it's okay to put their hands on a man. Okay. Shout out to Black by Design. Brother, thank you so much for the $20 super chat, man. I don't even know what to say, man. You guys who became members, you guys contributing to this platform, it's because of you that we were able to slightly upgrade the studio. The next purchase that I need is I've had this computer, this desktop computer since I started this channel. And obviously we can see some of the lagginess at times. And so the next upgrade will need to be a new computer. And that's what eventually, that's what we're going to do at some point, okay? She's wrong. I was in an argument discussion with friend girl of mine, and I was telling her why she was wrong, but she wouldn't see my side. So I just gave her the argument, and she was still mad and called me feminine. Oh, my God. Yeah, this happens far too often, Black by Design. And thank you for sharing this story with us, all right? Listen. When I talk to my woman, we've had this discussion, right? I think this is the type of discussion that needs to be had within couples, right? You know, like about what happens, you know, when somebody's wrong, right? Trying to get you on the tickler there, Black by Design. Thank you for being tonight's first sponsor. I appreciate it. There we go. So one of the things that me and my woman talked about was I told her, look, if I'm wrong, I ain't got no problem with admitting it. If I don't know something, I'm usually just going to be quiet, right? Or I'll say I don't know. Or I'll be like, hey, that's pretty interesting. And then I'm going to go look it up to educate myself, to say, okay, I don't have the knowledge on that, or I didn't know that. Hell, there are some times where somebody has quoted something to me and I wasn't sure about the statistics. So what did I do? I said, okay, all right, like if it seems reasonable, I'll go, okay, but then I'll go look it up myself. And then if they were wrong on it, then I'm not gonna be like, see, I knew you was wrong. I'm not trying to do that. I was an instructor. So my job isn't to beat you over the head with I'm smarter than you and I know this. No. All it is to be able to say, hey, that thing that you thought, this piece of knowledge you thought was real knowledge, it's not that. It's actually this. And I found it here. Okay. And it should be all that. And someone who values knowledge and they're not an idiot or a fool will say, you know what? Thank you for that. I thought it was this, but whatever. Like, that's what a big person does. We're running around with a bunch of people in this society who just don't want to be wrong. And that's a problem. Right? Shout out to Black Dot Design for another $5 super chat. I wish I had the meh. Also, a conclusion to that story. Now she wants to marry me. You cannot make this up, man. She has twin girls and 2 fosters. Jesus Christ. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say, bro. Q said, chicks like her let you know exactly how she get down. Exactly. I was none watching a lot of your videos. Just subscribe. Oh, that's all good, man. I appreciate you. Hey, we're almost at 35,000 subscribers. As of the last time I checked, we had 9 subscribers away from being at 35,000. Come and be a part of the channel, be a part of the gents and the ladies of this channel where, hey, I will tell you that you're going to get a good product. You're getting it from someone who's lived enough life, who, walks it as he talks it, who is about as the laid back. Everyone who has met me in person has been like, yo, damn, you just chill, bro. I'm like, yeah, man, none of this stuff, I'm not sweating none of this stuff, man. I'm on my grind. I'm on my purpose. I'm trying to live my best life, and I want you all to. So be a part of that. Be a part of this community where we can discuss these things, man, where, we can have fun with it. And also, too, for you ladies, right, where you might be hesitant, like, man, it's probably one of them just want to bash women. I don't want to bash women. No, I do want to correct these behaviors. I do want women to see that they have a lot of power in this, which we're going to discuss. We haven't even hit the stride of this video today. And when we do, you guys will see. Okay? Shout out to Drew, $20 holla towards the tech upgrade. Salute. Oh, thank you so much, man. I appreciate y'all, man. We really, again, that next desktop, we needed to be, I might have to, depends on how much we raise in here. I might do the video graphics card upgrade myself, but it'd be better just to get one that already has the specs that we need. You know what I'm saying? Why go half-ass, So, but every time, man, you guys have contributed and showed out to this channel, Drew. And because of you guys, I've been able to do so much. Like I said, even this lighting, the lights that y'all see in the background, the mic, the headphones, over the years, you guys have helped pay for all of that. And I couldn't have done it without you guys, right? Because YouTube takes a lot of money. You spend so much money on your YouTube channel before you ever see. Some people will never see a return on the investment. And at the worst case, you know what you definitely lose, if not money? you lose a lot of time if you don't take this thing and always try to make it better. If you don't try to make this thing better, you've literally given however many years to this and didn't try to, make it as best as it could be. That's the shame, not the money. You can get the money back. The time, y'all don't realize how much time. I've already created folders for the next 4 videos, and that's not even including the videos I just said I was going to make for the members only. You know what I mean? Like, your boy got a lot of work, but I do it because you guys all make it worth it. Preston says, in all seriousness, TSG, why do you think men don't want to get involved with modern women anymore? It's bad enough for these people to call someone sassy or feminine. Well, we know why. Look, we've already discussed multiple times why men don't want to deal with it. It's the attitudes. It's the entitlement. Listen, if you are a man and you're out there, you playing, okay? You still want to have fun with the ladies and you still want to do this, do that. And maybe you're not having as much luck, but you don't want to get married and you don't want anything serious. I understand it. There's women doing the same thing. But this modern society is damn near perfect for you, okay? It's perfect for just being casual, hooking up, no real commitment or no type of dedication to another person. It's easy. Listen, gents, prior to me getting back with my woman, right? Because we did split for a brief period, right? And that was on me. But I'm glad that we did because it made me more ready. Prior to that, I wasn't enjoying the people that was, the women I was talking to. I was not enjoying them, right? Like, I love having conversations. Don't get me wrong, okay? My woman knows this. I talk to everybody. I talk to dudes. I talk to girls. I talk to anybody that I can have a great conversation with. To me, that's fascinating. And maybe it's because I'm older, but I love a great conversation. I love people watching when I go out. Sip on something, people watch. You know what I mean? 1 or 2 beers, I'm perfect. Perfect amount of people watching for me. But the thing about it is, if I wasn't looking for more, if I wasn't looking for a woman who was serious, and I had that mindset, that dog in me to go out there, this would be like shooting fish in a barrel today. Ladies, you can hear that and say, oh, see? No, it would be easy because you all have made it too easy. I ain't gonna say too easy. And you say, well, some women are like, well, that's why we're raising our standards to this money level or whatever. You think that's gonna stop? That don't stop y'all from sleeping with a dude. That dude that you slept with, he may not be the dude you want to spend your life with, but guess what he winds up being? That dude winds up being like, hey, you say, well, sometimes I got to get mine. And guess what? Some men are okay with that. Some men are just okay with, like, you know what? It is what it is. We got a little, and I know some of you gents don't like this term. We got a little situationship, keeping a thing going. I can move the way I want to. She can move the way she wants to. You all are the ones. This is you. This is what you all are choosing. And men can't be blamed for that. You've come a long way since I first seen you on Richie Mack a couple of years ago. Oh my God, that was yeah. So I would get a Mac Mini. Everybody has said that it's a great one, but because of the travel, I don't like. I keep a bunch of. Look, I have a phone down there. I got a phone here. I got another phone here. So what I did was I bought a bunch of Androids so that I could jailbreak them to be able to travel in other countries and use their SIM cards. So, and then also I got an Xbox. So everything I have works with PC. As much as I've heard great things about Apple, I also don't want to be caught in buying $1,000 phones, every year so that it keeps working. But yeah, no. Black by Design, y'all, as y'all know, if y'all saw my community post, Richie Mack was here in Vegas, and I took a picture with him. We hung out that night, him and his boys that he knew in town, and that was my first time. Even though we've been communicating with each other since you first saw me, talking and hanging out with Richie, or talking to Richie Mack and being on his show and channel, that was the first time we actually met. Now, I know you guys have heard a lot about what's going on, what happened with Richie Mack, whatever. I'm sure he's learned his lesson. That's a tough lesson to learn, but he got on video and he owned it like a man. He owned that he caught them hands. And I love Richie Mack to death. That's my dude. I haven't addressed it because I haven't talked to him yet. So Richie Mack, if you're watching this, brother, I still support you. I still think like the time that we spend together, you're a good dude, man. You've always been there for me. But damn, man. God damn, Richie Mack, what you doing out there, bro? We too old for that. Okay, we too old of all that. Trying to run up on somebody. You can't be doing that. But yeah, man, thank you so much, Black by Design, for that one. Kyle says, bro, I almost gave up on modern women until I met my wife. She changed my whole perception of modern women. That is amazing. Okay. And as I've told y'all on this channel, I am 100% for you if you're married or in a long-term committed relationship. I'm not going to tell you to get married, but if you are and you choose to, you have no bigger supporter than me on this channel. Ladies, if you are married, you have no bigger supporter than me, because society needs families. We already see what's going on here with the 304-flation, okay? 304-flation has things crazy out here. We need families. We need families. It's paramount. It's important. All right? Bro, you're not worth no investment. YouTube needs to pay you, not me. People paying you, they like your delivery and information literacy. Most important, they need to hear they don't have a clue. So you say I'm not worth the investment? All right, well, that's your opinion, man. Everybody derives value for what they getting, what they want. You know what I mean? So whatever, that's your opinion. Getting married just to invest in a gutter check that's gonna bounce. Just check the check. Just because the check is a joke in snakes clothing. I love to people watch too, bro. Man, yeah. Shout out to you, LGS Inc. Too many women's be lying. Men's be the ones crying, not smiling. Hey, that's a whole nother video that I'm going to make in the future, okay? Plus, those women are going to get finessed. Yeah, they are. Yeah, all good, man. Thank you. Alienware is top of the line specs. Okay. I just picked up an Alienware R18. Okay, y'all get into that. Okay, last time. You full-time with the shit. That's why you be charged videos to the audience. I can see. I wouldn't be surprised if you have a degree. What is that? So let's, real quick before we move on, I'm going to address this real quick. Dwayne, I've been doing YouTube for 4 years, okay? 4 years, all right? And here's the thing. If you guys choose to do a super chat, I just say, hey, if you want to, go ahead. And I'm appreciative when y'all do it. I really am. Not gonna lie. It helps. Every dollar helps. Okay? And again, as I stated, long before I got paid, long before all of this, right? I wasn't getting paid. I was doing this work long before anybody was paying me, long before anybody was watching, okay? So when you watch, or when people watch and enjoy the videos, yes, YouTube pays you for that. And I am monetized. Okay? But here's the thing about it. The thing about it is, you all don't realize sometimes how much time goes into being a creator. you all just see the video and think that, or just put out a video, whatever, right? Like, people who don't take this shit seriously throw together a video and that's it. It takes me 2 to 3 days to make one video, sometimes more, okay? Because I actually treat this like a job. I actually, write stuff down. I actually keep notes. I actually plan ahead for you guys. All right? So if a creator is giving you their time and you appreciate the creator, if you see fit to give that creator an appreciation, that's on you. Hell, I'm a Saints fan, okay? I've been watching a channel called Big Q and the Guys for 4 or 5 years now. And I've been donating to that channel for 5 years straight. Like every month, I have a reoccurring charge because I support that creator. So I'm not asking y'all to give me anything. If you choose to, I would ask that if you want to be a sponsor of tonight's video, boom, okay? If you don't, you don't. I still make the same videos, Dwayne. The videos are the same. It don't change the quality I'm going to do. But if you appreciate the work and you want to give, then give. If you don't, you don't. What are we even talking about? And if you must know, my profession was engineering. Okay? Let's move on to the next video because this took all the wind out the sails of the discussion. All right. Now, we've been talking about how the lack of communication, right? We're talking about, the need of some of these modern women to be right in arguments. Check this out.
Women don't have a problem communicating as long as the problem is outside of her. You see what I'm saying? When we get to talking about communication, a lot of women are open as hell to it when you complaining to her about your homeboy who not doing right, or you complaining to her about your career that may not be going how you wanted to go. But when she's the issue, the communication don't be as back and forth. It don't be as open. It don't be like it should be. Now all of a sudden it's super defensiveness. Now all of a sudden you're not letting me finish sentences. Now all of a sudden it becomes a bunch of resistance.
Okay, so let's talk about it. The same way that you say that that as men, y'all want women to create a safe space for y'all, sometimes you have to do that for us too. So just like y'all want us to cut up things in sizes that's digestible for y'all, maybe y'all can tell us things in ways that's digestible for us as well.
So let's talk about that. I'm going to put her back up on screen. The last thing that she said, the last thing that this woman said that I thought was the most pertinent from this conversation, we'll get back to what he said in the beginning. But the thing that she said was about men, breaking things up that we have to say in order to make it digestible for them. And here's the thing that you don't get, ladies, or that you may understand. Go back to the first woman who I showed in the clip. That first woman said she knows she got a smart mouth and she trying to be right. So she going to go back and forth with the dude. But then when he does it, he's sassy. This is why I played that clip first. And then I played this one. Because this woman said, can you make it where it's digestible? And some of you guys know better than others, right? If you, look, for my OGs out there who's dealt with enough women, even when you try to spare her feelings and still try to give her the truth, some women still can't handle it. Women want to talk about men's ego, and we do have egos, and we do have our pride, okay? But on the flip side, y'all do too. Y'all do too. No matter how we cook it and digest it, it's like y'all don't want to hear the truth. You don't want to take the accountability. Shout out to the women that are able to listen. And I get it. My woman told me this one. She said, sometimes you will say some stuff, and instead of me reacting in my emotions, I like to step away and think about it and then come back and talk to you. Because I don't want to do that from emotions. I'm trying to hear what I need to get out of my emotions to understand what you were trying to say. And then how I give her the safe space is this, you know, I tell her, if there's something that I say to you that hurts or offends you, or you don't understand what my point was, then ask me about it again and let me know that you didn't understand fully. And then maybe I can put it a different way. That is called having a conversation. And then as we get back to this dude up here, right? Listen to what he says.
Women don't have a problem communicating as long as the problem is outside of her. You see what I'm saying? Like when we get to talking about communication.
See, what did she say right there? Listen when he says this. Listen what the woman says in the background.
Outside of her. You see what I'm saying? Like when we get to talking about communication.
She said, I disagree. She didn't even let him finish the point. I disagree. What was his point? Let's continue to listen again.
Communication. A lot of women are open as hell to it when you complaining to her about your homeboy who not doing right, or you complaining to her about your career that may not be going how you wanted to go. But when she's the issue, the communication don't be as back and forth. It don't be as open. It don't be like it should be. Now all of a sudden it's super defensiveness. Now all of a sudden you're not letting me finish sentences. Now all of a sudden it becomes a bunch of resistance.
Okay.
All right. You see that? So here's the thing. It's like with anybody you talk to in life, okay? Again, I told you guys my background. I told you my last job in the military, I had 200 people working for me. And sometimes I'm going to be blunt. Sometimes I was really blunt about what I needed to do and what I needed there. And then I've had sometimes my own fellow peers, the other chiefs that work for me, you know, the ones that was real, they would pull me to the side. It's like, hey, man, you know, the way you said this, blah, blah, blah. And I'd be like, oh, man, well, how did that come off to you? Oh, it came off this way. And I'm like, okay, what didn't you understand? First of all, what didn't you understand about what I said as far as what needs to get done? Because in the military, we follow orders, right? So we're used to bluntness. But at the same time, it's like, how did I deliver? Is the main message understood? That's the first thing that you want to understand, or that you want to make sure it comes across. And then the secondary part is, you know, hey, maybe my tone, maybe the way I said it, okay? This is the same problem that Kevin Samuels had when he was talking to other women. This was the same problem. You know? It is what it is. You know what I mean? So I played this clip on purpose. I played this clip because I just wanted you to get that part where the dude was saying how when the problem is them, the back and forth don't be right. I want you guys to put a pin in this video, because I'm going to point out in about 2 or 3 more clips where this is relevant, about when the delivery and the back and forth aren't correct, how this is a pertinent video today. Okay, let's do this. All right. Now, where we at? Black by Design says men are direct to the point. Women know that they know that, and they don't like it. Yeah. See, that's the thing too, right? Especially in the military. Very few times, I'm not saying it didn't happen sometimes, but rarely did you have people, at least back in the military that I came into. I don't know about nowadays, right? I've heard a lot of things about how the military is functioning now and how people are like, you know, so cognizant, or, you know, they're walking on eggshells to do their jobs, to say what needs to get said. When I was in, it was pretty blunt. They let you know they would say stuff to you that might hurt your feelings. When you're a young man and you got the people that's over you, and I'm not even talking about like big time supervisors. I'm saying somebody that's been in just a little bit longer than you, but they're still junior too. And they're, you know, they have positional authority over you, and they're going to tell you something that's going to hurt your feelings. You suck it up. You a man. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that's always right. I'm saying that we didn't let the tonality stop us from understanding the orders. Does that make sense? When those orders could save our lives. It's that simple. And we're living in a life and death scenario every day. So it is important for us to be slow, quick to listen, slow to speak. Okay? Thanks for doing what you're doing. Thanks for your service. Over time, some people speak truth. Thanks for speaking truth. I'm always going to speak the truth. Seriously. You know? It is what it is. Okay? And women's egos is bigger than man's nowadays. Yeah, it is. And that's what we're seeing. What was your branch? I was in the Army for almost 6 years. Oh, I was in the Navy. I was a chief. There you go. That's my chief plaque right there. My chief shadow box, my chief box. Okay. And I did 20 years. So I'm retired. So even and Dwayne, no shade. I hope you come back to the channel, man. But this channel is for us, man. This channel is for us as men, right? I'm not trying to argue with you. I'm just talking about these things, okay? The other thing is, Dwayne, before I started doing YouTube, and the reason that I didn't do it because of money, I do this because I enjoy it. And if you do something where you're giving that much time, why shouldn't you be compensated for your time? It's the most valuable resource we have. If you feel you're getting a good product out of this, you should be okay with it. It shouldn't bother you, okay? But I'm going to say this. Even without YouTube, I didn't need the money. I could be in my underwear playing video games right now. I could be out somewhere doing whatever, okay? 2 years ago, or a little bit, 2 years and a month ago, I didn't even live in this country anymore. That's how well I'm doing. I'm good. All right. But that's why I come on here and I tell you guys, I appreciate each and every one of you guys for contributing to this channel. You guys make it stronger. And in the process, for you all giving me your trust and listening, then I try to upgrade things and make it better. Right? That's why I vow to make this members only content better for my members. You guys have done that. I owe you that. And I'm gonna follow up on it. All right. All right. I want y'all to hear this. Right? Now we just talked about how the conversation between men and women don't be right. And I think one of you guys said, I just read it. Oh, Q just said, and women's ego bigger than a man's nowadays. All right, check this out. Check this next video out.
He was too corny for me. Like, tell me sit down. Tell me stop going out. God. You know, don't put your hands on me.
Sorry, I promise I wouldn't be stopping these videos. But if you didn't hear it, the start of it was the dude, her ex-husband or her dude she was with, she called him corny. Right? How many times have we heard modern women use these shame tactics? All right, I'm going to start it over again.
He was too corny for me. Like, tell me sit down. Tell me stop going out. God. You know, don't put your hands on me, but put your foot down. Like, every time I want to go out, I can go out. Anytime I want to, I can, whatever, do it.
Did you marry him and he was corny?
I did, because I had a son and I wanted him to have a family, and I don't have a family. It's just been my mama, my brother, my sister, and just my strong ass.
I'm sorry, this fucked up.
You make him
hear
happy.
what you're saying?
What am I saying?
This is why niggas dog women.
This banana-faced deplorable witch ruined a man's life, and the only thing she has to say for it is he was too corny for her. She knew he was corny the first moment she met him. And because she couldn't get the man she wanted, she decided, let me experiment at this man's expense, only to come to the realization that she's truly for the streets, only to remind herself to confirm what she already knew, that she's a 304. Stop the delusion.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap. Yo, so I played this clip because I'm gonna have a take real quick. Quick take that some of you all may not like. Okay, here it is. At this point, the reason why this channel exists, the reason why we talk about these things on the channel, is to help men be smarter from dealing with women like this. If you, as a man, with all the information that's out there, with all these videos, right? Want to talk about why I do this? This gives me purpose. This is my purpose, to have started this channel, to make it what it is, to inform men and to illuminate the eyes of women who support men and those who might be on the fence and don't understand why this is bad. So if you allow a woman like this to come along and you cannot see the red flags, especially and particularly because of all the videos that I've put out on this channel with almost 35,000 subscribers, which is why you subscribe now to get us over that 35,000 mark, okay? If you don't get that from these videos, this is what's going to happen to you. And I get it. For whatever corny man that she had, he might have felt, wow, I got a real beautiful woman right here. Look, he called her whatever face, dog face, whatever. I don't know. I don't know what he called her, okay? I don't remember. Whatever he called her. Well, okay, let me say this, okay? And I think you guys are going to feel me on this. Her attitude basically took whatever she potentially looked like to damn near zero, okay? Maybe even negative. And I know some of you guys would say negative, okay? But just on the surface, if I didn't know this woman, I wouldn't say she looked bad, okay? She got them little gold highlights like women had back in the 90s. Y'all remember that? The 90s where they had the gold in there, the golden hair, that honey blonde hair, right? And just on the nature of what this woman said, she's dropped herself to a zero. I wouldn't even look at her twice. Not going to even be on my radar. And there are a lot of men that feel that way, ladies. Sometimes, and I get it, men do it too. Men can open their mouth and you like, oh, nope, not going to work. But the story alone tells us that she was settling for that dude. And she knew he was corny. But she was looking to get out of her situation. She was looking to be married for whatever dumbass reason y'all want to get married nowadays. Okay? It makes no sense. All right? That's how it was. Mission first. Yep. When I was in, I heard a company commander in boot camp tell a recruit that his mama should have swallowed. They had no filet in 91. We gave that recruit a blanket party. Oh, yeah. They had, yeah. I get it. Yeah, they didn't try to, they allowed the company or the division to course correct itself. Yep. Why do I need to handle you like you're an animal? She's the definition of hyena. Shout out to the Crimson Crew. Yeah, shout out to the Crimson Crew. Yep, they do a great job. I entered the Army in '73. The drill sergeants would talk about your mama bad just to make you want to bite back. Those that did never tried that again. Yeah. Oh, yeah, man. Listen, you get into the military, you're going to get tested. You're going to get tried. You know what helped me out? Oh, let me also qualify. I was on submarines, so there's nowhere to go. Okay. When you got people talking about you, when you got people saying things, there's nowhere to run. Okay. But the reason why it never affected me was because I grew up in New Orleans, man. We played the dozens all the time. I mean, we would play the dozens to people's eyes were watering up. Tears was coming down people's eyes. Okay. So after you've, been in that environment and you're used to that kind of stuff and people talking about your mama, like people used to, y'all seen my mama, okay? If you've watched this channel, you know I did that video with my mom. My mom has always been a slender woman, okay? She used to be a little bit thicker fine back in the day, but she wasn't really ever a big woman. She was never more than about 145, ever. 5'8", 145. That was my mom most of my life. Maybe a little bit smaller, right? 130, high 120s. That's been my mom. So we'd be doing there, sitting there doing the dozens, and then you know what jokes came out? Your mama's so fat. Your mama so this. She's so, her belt size is a equator, right? There, all that stuff. And I would just laugh. And it wasn't fun to do that because most of the people that were talking about your mama so this, that was their mama. And they talk about my mom, and it was like, that's funny, man. It never affected me. So, but I want to get back to the point of this video. There are the reason why men are done, ladies, is because too many of y'all think so much of yourself that a man that would be perfect for you, that would do well for you, that would do right by you, you guys call him corny. He doesn't measure up to some deluded delusion of grandeur that you have for whatever you think you deserve. And the bottom line is a lot of modern women, they don't deserve what they think they do. And that's why they're going to end up alone, single, childless, all those things, okay? Where are we at? The year I was born, I know they were rootless back then. That's when my dad joined the Navy. I just followed suit. Yep. 100% 2-0 chick ain't worth it. Living in Hawaii, some chicks like Link just to get off the rock. Yeah. When I was living in Hawaii, you had all kind of stuff. You had women who would link up in Hawaii because they were pretty much just living from place to place, sleeping on couches. They were pretty much like vagabonds. And they did what they had to do. They knew they had the Air Force there. They knew they had the Navy there, right? They knew they had these branches. They knew they had the Army base way up north there on Oahu, right? They knew. And so women can get in trouble. They didn't have to be accountable. They can party it up and sleep on the beach and do all these things. And then when they realized the options was dwindling low, then they could find some sucker. And I've seen it. I've seen on Facebook where I'm like, she done married and found her a sucker. I've seen it. Okay? I'll get back to your comments. Let's get to the next video. Where are we at on time? Oh, damn it. This ain't going to be no 3-hour live stream. We got to get through this. All right. We about to hear from Charleston White because he's going to set up what we're going to see in the next few clips, okay? He's going to talk about women being loyal, being faithful, okay? You guys may have seen this clip. Here it goes.
How do you feel about women cheating on their man or having a side dude?
It is flipped. Women do it all the time. We just can't catch them. Because a woman can run further with her skirt up than we can run with our pants down. We got to pull our pants down to fuck. So when our pants around our leg, we trying to run, we go trip and fall. She can raise us up. She can stand there and hold her dress up and let it fuck right quick. And come back and lay in a bed and you'll never know. Women are more sneaky. Women are more conniving than men because men are creatures of habit. So we can't really be sneaky. It's too easy to detect what a man does because he's a creature, his pattern of behavior. Women are more snake-like. They play like they ain't hoes, but they are hoes. They play like they don't want to be hoes, but they got a whole nature. Most women try to suppress the whole nature and sneak into it. The man can't suppress his nature. That's why when some fine walk by, as hard as he try not to look, he got to. He can't suppress his nature.
There is so much to discuss with that clip, and I don't want to discuss too much of it because I might have to use this clip again in the future. But why am I saying this? He was talking about the thing that I want to highlight for the video clips that are coming up is the sneaky nature of some women. Women not taking accountability for their past, for that 304 behavior. Okay? So shout out to you, King. Thank you for coming through tonight. What's going on, Preston, my brother? Yep. Thank you for coming through, King. I appreciate you. So now that we've heard that, right? Now that we've heard that, we're going to get into the real nature of what I wanted to discuss tonight. So I used all those clips to kind of set up where we're going tonight with this. But I have a few clips, and this one here, I really listen to this conversation. Now, remember I told you, put a pin in that discussion when a man tries to be cool and give a woman information and she can't receive the truth, right? The woman in that video I showed you guys said that, how come y'all can't give it to us in a digestible form? I want you to listen to how this young man is speaking. He's just speaking candidly about it. He's not yelling. He's not getting in his emotions. He actually tells his mom in this video, yo, it's cool. I get it. But I want you to see how defensive the mom gets, okay? Again, today's topic, if you want to get the overall branch of what we're talking about, today we're talking about accountability, right? Here we go.
So you were behind my back?
Yeah, I'm grown. I'm old enough now.
He's 19.
I got the right to do that. So I just wanted to get a test and see what is my daddy.
And so you called him?
Yeah, I called him. He was like, he thought I was his son. So that means that
we don't see nothing funny.
Nah.
But see, I told you that was your dad. I first of all, that is your dad. I don't know what's going on. I don't know who you took the test with and what you had going on, but that's your dad.
Yeah. It sounds good, but look, I'm just saying.
It sounds good.
Nah, that's the result. The results say what it say now. I can't lie. I can't fake no results. Now, if you had something going on, then the man that was my daddy.
First of all, you ain't had no business going behind my back. That's what you didn't have no business doing.
Y'all hear this?
Yeah, but I just feel like I ain't had no bond with him like that. Like I knew something was off. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I wanted to go get my results and see what's going on.
Let me tell you something.
It's okay. You know, I'm old enough, I understand. Now, if my real dad ain't want to take care of me, you know what I'm saying? And
see, some things are better left unsaid.
Oh, okay.
You should just left it like it was. I ain't tell you. I told you that was your daddy. You should have went right on with it all these years. You 18 years old, 19 years old now. And it's no sense trying to go behind my back to figure it out. You too old now.
I'm writing down a few notes so I keep my thoughts straight on this. Okay? The first thing that this woman said, the first thing that I wrote down was this woman had these test results showing that her son's dad wasn't the dad. And the first thing she said was, that's your daddy. And that's all it is. Now, the young man brings up in this video that the relationship that he had with that man wasn't what it was. All right? It wasn't where it needed to be. Something was off about it. Maybe the man even knew, man, that probably ain't my kid. And this young man wanted to find out for himself. He's 19 years old. I joined the military at 19 years of age. Okay? That's when I joined, 19. And even though I can say I had a lot to learn at 19, I did have a lot of good sense about me. And I think, and I can honestly, confidently say that I was at least smart enough to be able to say, hey, I want a relationship with my dad or I don't. Now at 19 years old, I didn't have much of I had a very strained relationship with my own dad. All right. With my real dad. I'll say that. Not with my stepdad, but my real dad. And I was a little mad at him at 19. And then like two and a half, 3 years later, actually two years later, my father passed away. I didn't even know about it for a whole nother year. So I'm gonna jump to the third note that I wrote. All right, before I get to the third note, I want to put a pin in that one. I want you to notice that his tone to his mother was not disrespectful. He wasn't yelling. He wasn't emotional. He just said, hey, this is what it is. I wanted to know. And all she did in that process, right? Go back to that video I told y'all earlier. He's not yelling. He's giving it to her in a digestible form. But she is upset that the truth was she had relations with another dude. She tried to pass off the dude that was there as the dad, Vice the real dude. And then what did she do? She didn't apologize. Did y'all hear an apology anywhere in that video? Check it out. It's not a long video. Here it is. Just listen. Tell me if y'all hear an apology for her actions. Hell, he apologizes for her.
So you were behind my back?
Yeah, I'm grown. I'm old enough now. I feel like I got the right to do that. So I just wanted to get
and you do
and see what is my daddy.
And so you called him?
Yeah, I called him. He was like, he thought I was his son. So that means that
we don't see nothing funny.
Nah.
So he told, I'm assuming he told the dude that thought it was his dad, he told him, and the dude thought it was his son, so he didn't know. So that woman had been hiding this secret for over 19 years from that man. Let's continue.
But see, I told you that was your dad. I first of all, that is your dad. I don't know what's going on. I don't know who you took the test with and what you had going on, but that's your dad.
Yeah. It sounds good, but look, I'm just saying.
It sounds good.
Nah, that's the result. The results say what it say now. I can't lie. I can't fake no results.
Now, again, that is a common talking point that we see from women who get caught in these situations. He's there, that's your daddy. Now, if that young man feels that that's his dad, then that's his dad. You know, and one of you guys said in the comments of one of the video, the stepmom video, right? You said, one of y'all said this, that being a stepdad was an honorable thing. Not saying it was a smart thing, but it was honorable. If you found a woman and you were a stepdad back in the day, and you took on the burden of taking care of those kids that weren't yours, you had a responsibility. Hell, if you are in the presence of kids because of a woman, you have a responsibility to be an example in front of those kids. Period. End of story. I don't care what y'all believe. This is just the way I feel. Okay, this is just my opinion on it. If you're a leader, you're going to be a leader no matter where you are or whatever situation you're in. And that's what we are here. We are leaders here, or we're at least striving to be a good leader. But yet, despite this, despite the truth being in this woman's face, she never apologized. She's still deflecting. Let's finish this.
If you had something going on, then the man that was my daddy.
First of all, you didn't have no business going behind my back. That's what you didn't have no business doing.
He had no business to go behind her back. 19 years old. Now, listen, I would say he a grown man, but I'm assuming he lived with his mom. And 19, 18, it's hard. It was hard for me back in the late 90s to be on my own, that I wound up joining the military a year after high school. Like, I literally joined the Navy 1 year and 10 days after I graduated. It's tough. And it's even tougher now in this society. Okay. The inflation is so much higher than it was 26 years ago, right? It is so much higher. It is insanely higher. And there are jobs to be had. But just for your regular kid getting out of high school, it's tough. They cannot afford to live on their own. But it's funny, the audacity of this woman to say, you went behind my back. He has a right to know who his real dad is, ma'am. And you trying to hide that to basically cleanse your soul so you don't feel bad about it. Ain't that part of the problem that we have right now? Ain't that what we're talking about today with this lack of accountability?
Yeah, but I just feel like I ain't had no bond with him like that. Like, I knew something was off. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I wanted to go get my results and see what's going on.
Again, he's not being disrespectful. Look at her. She's thinking of something.
It's okay. You know, I'm old enough, I understand. Now, if my real dad ain't want to take care of me, you know what I'm saying? And
see, some things are better left unsaid.
Oh, okay.
You should just left it like it was. I ain't tell you. I told you that was your dad. You should have went right on with it all these years. You 18 years old, 19 years old now.
So he 19 years old. He's gonna continue lying to him?
It's no sense in trying to go behind my back and figure it out. You too old now.
No, ma'am. There's a lot of reasons to know who your birth parents are, both of them. For diseases, for organ transplants, there's a lot of reasons to know, right? To know the history on both sides of the family so you have an accurate medical assessment at the very minimum. On top of that, you have a right to know the other side of your family. Even if listen, I told y'all about the relationship with my dad, but I got this whole other side of my family. I didn't meet my two brothers until 2013. Yes, this December will be 11 years since I seen my middle brother in person. And then some years later, I finally got to see my older brother in person. I deserve that. I deserve that. And so does this young man right here. She didn't want to be caught. Shout out to Chosen, man, with the $10 super chat. She lying, TSG. No, she is lying. And she don't want to get caught. Or she got caught, and now she's trying to deflect. She's not taking accountability. Oh, answer my question, gents. Did she ever apologize anywhere in this video? I think I missed it. Did I miss the apology to her son? Oh, wait. Didn't she say you should have just left that alone? Ladies, this is what we're talking about. This is what we're talking about right here. You all want men to be, men ain't men today. But they have mothers like you all. They have mothers just like you all who deflect accountability and then wonder why you have a son who won't take accountability for his life. Listen, I'm going to tell you, I love my daughters. And there is no bond like a father-daughter relationship. Okay? But on the flip side, gents, boys need their fathers. They need to know their fathers. Good, bad, or indifferent, they need to know of their fathers. And they need those lessons that fathers can give that mothers can't. Shout out to Juju. He said, I bet she's a Christian too, right? Like, look, we talk about this, Juju, we talk about this all the time on the channel. You have these so-called, go to holy rollers, go there every week, and they have no biblical principles in their life. Let me catch this story real quick. Michael says, I did it once, and after my stepson was old enough to leave the home, she became more aggressive with her attitude and bad behavior, so much so that she eventually filed for divorce. And then Michael, look, there's a lot of guys that said in the last video about, not being a stepdad, whatever. And I will say that, and somebody even gave me crap in the comments about it, where he was stepdad too. Yeah, I was. I got married at 19 years old. So I joined the military and I was married less than a year later. Less than a year later. I was stupid. This is why I can come on this channel and talk about it. I made some terrible mistakes. But I'm okay. Look, see, I'm gonna take accountability of it. I'm not ashamed of it. I am where I'm at today because I learned from those mistakes. I'm not ashamed to talk about it. You know why? Because I take accountability. I take accountability. I made those choices. And as young men and young women, we make stupid choices. Do we learn from it? Do we learn from it? And it took me some time to go through some things to learn my lessons, to be the man that I am today. So the point is, what I was going to say for what Michelangelo said, his stepson was old enough to leave the house. I don't know how your relationship was with the stepson, but my stepson is an excellent man. I won't even call him a young man anymore. He's a man with his own family, and we don't talk every day, but we do have a tight bond, a very tight bond. I don't regret that. I don't regret my bond with my stepson. I didn't regret the bond with my stepdaughter. God rest her soul. Okay? She's no longer here. I don't regret it. Now, would I put myself in that situation again? Hell no. Not like that. But I don't regret that time. They loved me and I loved them. And sometimes those mothers, okay, are almost jealous that you have a better relationship with their kids than they have, which is insane, which tells me that that woman doesn't care anything about anyone but herself. Again, I've told you all the time, I'm not perfect. But that's why I feel like I'm the best messenger to talk about these things. Because I've recovered from those things. I've learned from those things. All right? Yeah, there was no apology. She mad because her son got the truth. Your mama was a 304. To some, being a stepdad is honorable, but to most, it's thankless. Yeah, it is thankless. That's actually a video I'm going to work on, Q. It's not just about the stepdad aspect. There's a video I've been wanting to make since right after Father's Day about how thankless it is being a man in modern society. Did I title it that? Let me just look at my folder. The working title right now is Why Do Men Feel Overlooked by Society? I've been wanting to make this video since directly after Father's Day. It may not do well, but I think it's a video that has to be made, even if it don't get the views. Okay, I told y'all, I promised y'all, I'm not gonna let views be the only sole decider of making videos. Okay, and I get it. You won't do it again. It's tough, ladies. If you have a problem with Q just said, he just expressed why a lot of men are saying they don't want to be with single moms. For sure not baby mamas, okay? Again, that last video, it was really meant to distinguish between some single moms and baby mamas, okay? Some women learn their lesson, and some women do not. And that's what we're talking about. This is a deep one, y'all. This was a deep one. We're not even done. We are not even done. I got another story right now. Now, this one is a little bit longer. I'm not going to let the full thing play out. But once we get what we need out of it, we'll move on. Okay? Actually, let me check, see what the next video clip is. Yep. Perfect. I told y'all, man, I'll be putting in the time on this to try to make this thing work. So I hope y'all appreciate it, man. I really do. Check this out. Listen to this story right here.
A few years ago, my oldest daughter had to take a DNA test for school just to figure out ancestry. During the DNA test, she came to me very, very sad because apparently me and her were not related. I was like, huh? When she told me this, I had to keep a straight face because the immediate shock was just wild. Then I decided to go with her to get a paternity test done. When we got the paternity test done, it was also concluded that I was not her father. At this point, I was shocked. I've had 4 kids with my wife, and she was the oldest, and I needed to see how far this rabbit hole went. I told her to not let her mother know that we know this information, and then I went to my next oldest child, not mine. I went to the one below that, not mine. And then I decided to stop there because the youngest child is so young that this may directly affect them, and they don't really understand what's going on anyway. So I didn't even want to go into that rabbit hole, but when I got the information, I immediately was like, let me go talk to my wife about this. So like always, she didn't take responsibility or any type of accountability. And she said, how are you going to believe your wife over these tests? I was like, are you serious? Are you like, for real, for real?
I mean, really think about that. Sorry, real quick. I know I said I wouldn't interrupt, but think about that real quick, man. Women see the test results and say, how are you going to believe test results over me? When these things are like, there's a 0.000 something zeros, something, some other zeros and a 1 or something % chance that you are the father. And these women say, why don't you believe me? And then it'd be one thing if it was one child, but 2 other kids, 1 or 2 other kids wasn't his child either. That's gaslighting. And a lot of modern women today do a lot of gaslighting while telling people they're gaslighting them. A lot of deflection. And he said it best. Lack of accountability or lack of responsibility and accountability is what this man said, which goes into what we're talking about tonight. Let us continue.
Like, is this really where you're gonna go with this? Then she starts crying profusely and saying it was only one time. I didn't mean to do it. And I was like, it was only one time. Hey. And then I showed her that each one of the children aren't mine, with the exception of the youngest, as so I think. That's when it dawned on me that it was one time, multiple times. And then when we looked, each one of the children's had different baby fathers, and somehow that made it even worse because it wasn't just one person you was cheating on me with. This is a habitual thing with multiple different people that you probably don't know about. And I'm taking care of their kids. They're my kids. They're my kids. I've raised each and every one of them from a super young age, and they stood by me through this whole situation. But to think that she's not who she said she was, because up into that situation, I thought we had a great marriage. I thought we had a great life. I thought everything was going good. I thought that we were building together and already have built together. She is a stay-at-home mom that works on things that she wants to do. She takes care of the kids. She cooks, she cleans, she does everything that's needed inside of the relationship with me. Yet she didn't tell me that she wanted to go outside of the marriage. She didn't tell me that she wanted to do anything. Anyway, after finding out the information and getting her side of the story, I let her know I would need a couple of space. So I had rented a hotel for a couple of days, and I stayed in it. I stayed away, and it was all right. It was good, but I really missed my kids, and I wanted to see them. So after a couple of days, I was back inside of the house, but I'm not even gonna lie. I didn't say anything to my wife. I didn't speak to her. She would try to talk to me and I would look away. I would take care of the kids. I would grab the kids, take them to the mall, do different things with them. And everything was just, I was just trying to figure things out. I was just trying to see how I could make our relationship work, or see if I need to separate and just take the kids myself. Like, I didn't know what to do, if I had any like legal rights to these individuals. Yeah, my name's on the birth certificate, but I'm not biologically theirs. I just wanted to figure things out, but I didn't even get that chance, because 6 days ago she decided, other than taking any type of responsibility, to have a hangout session with the chandelier. And I'm so happy I have my kids, because I just don't know what I would like. It's just baffling to me, because the whole time, even with evidence, she just kept denying and denying and denying and denying. And I don't know if I did something wrong. I don't know if I was never supposed to know in the first place. I don't know what's going to happen, but I know I didn't want this to happen. I didn't want to not have my kids, not to have their mother.
We're going to stop right there. That's a tough story, man. That is a very tough story. No matter how much we talk about modern women on this channel and how much we might give them crap for some of their behaviors, I don't want to see anybody do what this mother did, because these kids are going to be, basically, she tried to make a permanent solution for a temporary problem. This man sounds like he would have taken her back. This man sounds like he just needed some time to process. And in this woman's shame, she just couldn't deal with it. And that's sad. And there's a lot of women who, even like that mother we saw in the previous clip, the shame is right there in her face, and she has no remorse whatsoever. Which proves the point that I've said so many times on this channel. Modern women don't want to feel bad. Some women just don't want to feel bad. And they'd rather live with the lie. Now, this woman is exactly what Charleston White said. She had a 304 nature that she could not control. And this man right here, no matter how good of a provider or a father he was, it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough to keep her faithful. And I was thinking about something when I was putting these clips together. I was thinking about how I remember back in the 80s, the 90s, especially when the 90s movies started coming out, and it just seemed like men were the dogs, right? You remember that movie Boomerang? And then you had Marcus, right? Marcus was the player. He was clean. He had all these women on the roster, right? In one hand, right, we've been seeing that since the blaxploitation films of the 70s, where black men are just pimps. They dogging women. This is why the Dr. William Cosby wanted to have a positive show. Regardless what you might think about Bill Cosby, Bill Cosby wanted to have a show where the kids grew up in a positive environment and basically have that reflected out onto the media waves of a positive, strong family. And if y'all don't remember, Claire Huxtable, right? The character on the Cosby is Bill Cosby, right? Dr. Heath Huxtable. His wife was a lawyer. So here they are, a doctor and a lawyer, plenty of money, doing well, just showing that even having money doesn't absolve you from having problems. The other thing that I want to note before we go on to the next video is this. Some of you all might think this man is a simp for him loving his kids that weren't biologically his. But some of you guys know, if you've always wanted to have a family and you help raise kids from when they're younger and you get to see them get older, or you've been a part of their life when they hurt their knee or when they needed help with their homework or all these things, you know that bond, you know that bond is still special. Some men just can't deal with it and they just completely leave. And some men are like, I've invested my time and my love into these kids who had nothing to do with these decisions. I say all this to say that these conversations are very nuanced, man. And that's kind of why I have the members only portion, so that we can have these nuanced conversations, because it's just not as easy as right or wrong in some of these circumstances. But again, you have another woman who's shown a lack of accountability for the actions that she took that basically destroyed a family, okay? And all his shows were positive and educational. Absolutely, Q. Absolutely. I couldn't do it. I know children are involved. I wouldn't go back to that. Pookie juice infected now 3 times. Dang. Apparently he wasn't supposed to know in the first place. No, he wasn't. Michelangelo said he just turned 24, talking about his stepson this month. Congratulations. And doesn't even call me to say hello or ask how I am for the purpose of acknowledging that I was always there for him when his own father didn't want to be. Listen, Michelangelo, that he's young, he's 24, he's figuring things out. I can guarantee you, if he does love you, it doesn't mean that, okay? He just might be needing to figure things out. And if you know you was in his life, then you take that on. One day he may reach out, he may not, okay? When my stepdad and my mom separated, I didn't see my stepdad like no more that much. But I did have and I talk about this here on the channel on another live stream. I got to see my stepdad right before going to the military. And then he felt kind of weird because him and my mom weren't together anymore. And he was like, I know I'm not your dad, but I couldn't be more proud of you as if you were my own son. And I said, I appreciate that, but you've been my dad. You've been there for me. And I know, things haven't always been great between you and my mom, but I said, you were the one that was there. And I love you and I appreciate you. And he said, I'm very proud of you, what you're doing. And I know you're going to do well. And he even cried in front of me. I might have teared up a little bit in front of him. Okay. He's no longer here with us anymore. And he wound up having another family. And it wasn't like I could even be around, go back to that family and be a part of it. I couldn't. So a lot of these conversations are very nuanced, man, and I get it, Juju, you might can't deal with it. Some of you men out there may not be able to deal with it. All I'm saying is, if you're a leader and you're a real man, when you have the opportunity to be a leader, be one. All right? If you are in those scenarios or situations, be a leader in that situation because it is sorely needed right now. We need real leadership. We don't need this fake shit. We don't need no alternative facts and truths. We need real men. We need real women to step up. Anyway. So this next clip, I'm literally just going to shake my head on this next clip. I don't really have much of an opening for it. It's pretty much going to speak for itself. The only thing I will say is this. This is why fathers are needed in the homes. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Call it what you want, but Black American boys are raised to be losers. Them being a viable partner to their future spouse, them getting married is not a priority to their parents. And we know most Black boys don't have parents. So who's raising these boys? The call is coming from inside the house.
Yeah, it is.
Stop it. Why? Sit down. Sit down. Stop. Sit down now. Why? Sit down. Sit down. Safe hands. Safe hands. Safe hands.
All right. I'ma put it in our bag. Put it in our bag. Put your hands in the air. I'ma put it in our bag. Put it in our.
They'll be great men. One of the greatest things I learned by being a boy mom is that boys are just as emotional as girls. Like this whole fairy tale of boys just being able to be tough and rumble and never get their feelings hurt and they never are hurt by bruises is a lie. My boys cry, and I'm talking about real emotional tears. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with it. Now, sometimes it gets on my last goddamn nerves.
Ultra premium fuel on this plane. I'm glad it stopped itself right there because that is perfect. If you are a boy mom, Jesus Christ. Let me start off a little bit differently. This woman explains that boys are just as emotional as girls. Yes, we as men have feelings. Absolutely. The problem is that if you teach your boys to be hyper emotional and you don't teach them emotional balance or intelligence, okay, then they're going to grow up like these little young Thundercats in the street nowadays who can't control their emotions. As soon as they got their feelings hurt, as soon as they somebody say something about them, they get emotional. And what do? Instead of being rational, they just react out of emotion. They're not acting from a place of logic. This is the problem that we have had in the Black community now for 50 plus years. 60 years, okay? 70 years, however long, about 60 something years, okay? This is the problem we've been having. We have a bunch of boys who are emotionally stunted men because a lot of women are emotionally stunted themselves, and they are the ones choosing to get with men who aren't emotionally intelligent enough themselves to do what they need to do. You all get with these men, and then you basically tell the world, we don't need a man. We can do this. We can Ebony K. Williams raise our babies on our own without the need of a man. And you are raising these emotional ass boys that you all get on here and say that men are sassy now. They're emotional now. And then when men like myself or women get on here and try to correct you all don't want the correction. You all don't want any bit of responsibility nor accountability of your problem in this. So now I'm going to say again, if you are a boy mom, it is very important and imperative that your son has some type of male influence in his life. Thank God I played sports. Thank God my stepdad was there sometimes. Thank God my uncle was there for me. Thank God, and rest his soul, to Mr. Barry across the street that took an interest in me, that loved me like his own son, because he only had a daughter. Thank God for Mr. Vancourt, who lived 2 doors over, who was the grandpa of some of my friends that was in the neighborhood. Thank God to Coach Dupree, God rest his soul. He passed away in a car accident, who was my basketball coach. Hell, even my first basketball coach, I forgot his name. Thank God for my baseball coach. Thank God for all the men that mentored me while I was in the Navy. It is important. It is imperative. If you want to save your son's life, if you care or love your son, you will ensure that that young man or those young men have male influence in their life. If not, you're basically lighting a bomb. Some guys are going to come through it, but then their own lives in the future are emotionally stunted by these emotionally stunted women. And you all won't take accountability of that. Oh, no, he should have been there. No, ma'am. You raised them. The buck stops with you. There's nobody to pawn off the responsibility to. To all my brothers out there who was in the military, when I took over my division, my first division as a chief, once the other guy turned over, no matter what problems he stuck with me with, they were my problems. I didn't get to say, well, the last dude messed that up. I don't know about that. Chief, did you not do a turnover with them? Did you not do a good turnover with your relief? No. If it's broken, it's on you. You don't get to pass it off for the chief that's not there anymore. That's the kind of accountability that they made us men take in the military, that some of you all won't give to your own sons and daughters. You want to blame men and blame the man that ain't there, but you all the while you're the one raising. I want to show y'all this situation that's going on. And this happens in a number of households as well, right? We pretty much have these son husbands. When they women that make their sons pretty much the daddy. Check out this video right here, man. I thought this was an interesting one. Shout out to Tim Matthews. Thank you for coming through. Let me read this real quick before we get started. Bruce Mega, Deuteronomy 28, the blessing and curses on the children of God for breaking the covenant. 12 tribes are all under curses. That's why the women are acting up and they are turned against us as part of the curses. Read the curses and compare them against the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to see why life went so wrong. 12 tribes, 12 nations sent into captivity and no one to come save them. Yeah, Bruce. My uncle and I used to talk about that all the time. All the time. All right, let's listen to this.
He's coming back. We talked about the adultification of young Black girls, but let's talk about it of boys. Now, the mother of these two children is Selena Sunshine, but you would think this 12-year-old boy, her son, was the father. He's taking on responsibilities far beyond his age. Oftentimes, the content creator, this woman, refers to her son as the baby being his baby. So we can see that he's being adultified. And here's an example of him giving the baby soda and the mom doesn't want her to have it.
Soda. Give me the soda. You brought the soda.
You see, it's all fun and games until this baby starts to respect the boy more as a parent and identify with him more as a parent, because you rarely see the mother with the child, but you always see the 12-year-old son with this baby. The other thing you never see is the father doing any of these fatherly duties, like cleaning up and painting the deck, redecorating the baby's room. This is not his responsibility. He needs to be off playing with his friends instead of hugged up with his baby sister. Numerous studies show that a young child, a 12-year-old, doing constant caregiving and having these type of responsibilities for a younger sibling can leave them exhausted. It can leave them overwhelmed, because while his friends are out having fun, he's often stuck with adult duties, like missing out on things for his childhood. She even has him cooking. And while it's important for siblings to develop strong, supportive relationships, expecting a child to fulfill a parental role can lead to a variety of emotional, developmental, and psychological issues. It's an emotional burden. A 12-year-old is still developing emotionally, psychologically. Taking on responsibilities of a parent can be overwhelming and stressful, potentially leading to anxiety, depression, and burnout. Children need time to play, learn, and explore. Taking on a parental role can rob the 12-year-old of his childhood, and he may have to focus on caregiving instead of enjoying age-appropriate activities and experiences with friends and kids his own age. Let's not even talk about identity confusion or role confusion, in which this child, when they grow up, it's going to ruin their relationship as brother and sister. Because of the age gap, this child is going, and because of the responsibilities he's being given and how he's being adultified and parentified, so when she gets older, they're not going to be able to have a normal brother-sister relationship, because she's going to always see him as her father and he's always going to see her as his baby girl. And what a lot of moms in this situation, when they have the practice child and then go back and have a younger baby by another man, one thing that they don't realize is that that baby is one day going to grow up and be as grown as her brother, but he's still going to be treating her like his child. And it's okay for parents to do that, but it really interrupts a relationship between siblings when you, as an adult, as a parent, allow that to be blurred, because you want your child to take on the role of being the parent. Where is this baby's father at? We don't ever see him.
Right.
Social isolation. What is happening is this young man is taking on significant caregiving duties. It's probably going to limit his ability to socialize with his peers, and it's going to lead to him feeling isolated, and he's going to have difficulty forming age-appropriate relationships.
All right, she's kind of repeating the same things. All right. Listen, my little sister is younger than my daughters. Okay. My little sister is going to be 22 this year, and my daughters are 3 years older than my sister. Or 23 years, 23 years older than my sister. And it always felt like my little sister, I could only look at her like a kid. So we didn't actually start really talking or having any type of bonding experience until she was a teenager, when she could talk. And even then, we don't have when we're together, we're tight. But the thing is, there was always this disconnect. Now, my mom worried about us not being there for each other, but that's my little sister. I love her. She's very smart. She's doing really well, you know, and I'm proud of her. You know, she's been going to college. She's about to graduate here in about a year. Very proud of my little sister. But some of this I'm not too mad about. Understand what I'm saying? A lot of us that grew up in the 80s and 90s, at least a lot of the friends that I had, 70s, right? They had siblings, and a lot of the times the older one was taking care of all the siblings while the mom was at work. If you grew up in the hood, you've seen this. You know, yeah, she got him cooking, and he shouldn't have to like if he's the sole cooker in the house and he's 12 years old, something's wrong with that. I'm not saying that that young man shouldn't learn how to cook. I learned at a very young age. I was a latchkey kid. Y'all remember that? Latchkey kid meant that you was a kid that no parents was home and you had to go home by yourself, be home by yourself for a period of time. Yes, I was a latchkey kid. And some of those things help you when you're an adult. But as this woman stated, she wasn't wrong. There's some developmental things that you're going to be stunted with, you know? And part of it was the choosing of women when I was younger, right? How I choose women bore from having a single mother. My mom and I talked about it. She was like, look, I'm very proud of you. You said, you know, you're a man. You know, I guess you had to go through some of the stuff you had to go through to be the man that you are today, but I'm proud of that. And she apologized. My mom apologized. You know, she was like, yeah, things could have been better. I'm sorry, but I did the best I could. And I get it. There's a lot of women out there doing what they feel is the best they can. And that is why my advice is to at least ensure there's some type of male role model in the life of your sons. I go back and default to what my advice was because it helps and it works. All right. I thought Latchkey died with us Gen Xers, right? See, Black by Design knows. Y'all all know what I meant by Latchkey kid. I bet that baby thinks he's her daddy. Yeah, absolutely, she does, or she will. Yeah. That's his baby sister. What the hell was she talking about? These hyenas are getting more and more ridiculous. Yeah. Shake my damn head. Yep. I can't believe what I'm saying tonight. Son husbands, it is okay for sons to cry like little girls. Where is the balance in life? Wow. Of course, you don't fix something that isn't broken unless it needs adjustment, right? So that's why I titled tonight's content what it is, how the lack of accountability is basically destroying families. This mindset, these actions, you know, I can do it on my own, but you have a generations of women that have destroyed young men, destroyed men, and have created the very men that a lot of women can't even stand. And because they can't stand these, like, some of these young men are really good young men, and women don't want to talk to them. He's sassy, he's this, and he's a good dude doing what he need to do, but the women don't want to talk to him. So who do they go talk to? They talk to the same men that they complain about. They get knocked up for the same men. And we're going to talk about that in the next video, okay? The next video, I'm going to lay this narrative out as straight as I've ever laid it out. I'm going to tell a story in the next video that you see, okay? I always tell a story in the video, but this one here, I'm laying out a very specific narrative. And I'm not going to have long speaking parts in it, but I'm going to host and make the narrative come to life. And you guys will see by the end of it what I was trying to do. So you guys may have seen this clip, but it goes to the narrative that we're talking about tonight. So without further ado, or as I like to say, with that being said, let's get started.
So they think They could just get away with the privilege of not being accountable because of all the structures that are put into place. One thing you guys mentioned before earlier was about Maury. Think about the concept of Maury. This is why so many women today are incapable of understanding the word accountability when they look at the different structures within our society today. The concept of Maury is she can test 6 to 10 men, but she'll never get booed. Ever.
She gets clapped.
She can come out up on stage and never get booed, but they'll boo all 6 of the guys, even if they were never the father.
She's not mine. You're telling me that I raped you, but if I raped you, then how'd you get?
Accountability, right? Because the modern woman would prefer to lie than take accountability. So with the Amber Heard Johnny Depp case, she preferred to lie than to be seen. Because I've always said that women have a perception, right, that they want to keep up. They want to be seen a certain way.
Image.
And so what it is that for women, image is everything, right? And so with Amber Heard, she didn't want her image to be destroyed. With the women that go on the Maury show, and I'm telling you, they go crazy. He should have been doing this before the DNA test comes out, by the way. They're going crazy because what? They're trying to keep an image, right? The problem is, the reason why MTR was talking about, okay, DNA test should be mandatory. The reason why they won't do it is because women's image would be destroyed. Women want an image in this society, and their image is going to be destroyed. So what they would prefer to do is lie, because there are many people, most people believe that women are quite innocent, believe that they're the ones that are always a victim, right? What will happen is their image will be destroyed and they'll be seen for who they are, and they don't want it.
In the case of 11-month-old Lila, Drew, you are not.
But you know what happens when they do get found out to be lying? They get consoled.
No, they run off.
Oh my God, I got
they run off and scream.
Don't worry. They run off and scream.
I got so many stories about this.
And everyone's like, oh, it's okay. So what it is that there's no accountability. Me and MTR know that if a guy does something and it's wrong and it goes tits up, there's an accountability there, right? There's accountability right there. Women get consoled, they get cuddled, they get told that it's okay, don't worry about it. So then she does what? She goes and does it again. Yeah, because she never learned the lesson. There was no real consequence.
Exactly.
If I
She's
do
consoled by men and women.
Men and women.
To help you. Don't jump all over her, okay? It's okay, Lila. You okay?
Saw that consolation at the end? Did y'all see that? Whoever put this clip together did a really good job. Jesus, I could have swore I would have made a video just like this. But there it is right there, man. I don't have anything to add to that because those guys all said it correctly. The only thing I'm going to add is this. When I was in the military, you know, like you had to be accountable. When you messed up, you had to take accountability, right? You go to captain's mass, or, you know, you go to DRB, disciplinary review board, where us chiefs would, you know, try to find out what was the problem and then try to come up with, you know, get that person back on the straight and narrow so they could be a productive member on the submarine. Right? It wasn't just enough to punish them. Disciplinary review board was to try to course correct the behavior. And we were dealing with a lot of young men, right? I had 200 people working for me toward the very, very end of my career. And I had to know about each and every one of the men that worked for me. I didn't have any women that worked for me, all men. And I had to sit down and talk to them periodically and figure out what was going on in their life. And then I would get deeper into their life, and you start realizing, you know, they're growing up without mothers. They grew up with toxic relationships. They basically jumped into marriages that weren't good. They got, you know, used by a woman to get married. Their finances weren't in order, right? All of these things were things that I had to be worried about as a leader, as a chief. So when I come on here and I talk about these things, I talk about it from a place of experience. And I hope to help both men and women, especially in today's episode, to be able to learn the importance of accountability. Accountability, you could almost say, is like forgiveness, right? You have to first forgive yourself, but that forgiveness means a change in behavior and actions. And then once you can change those behaviors and actions and move forward and realize that, hey, yeah, my bad, but I've learned from it, that's accountability. To be sorry about something and then to change the actions, to be accountable for your actions. And how much do we see that people today don't want to be accountable for their actions? This is why I'll be 51 in 4 days. Hey, happy early birthday. Thank you. I'm single and I have no kids. I was married to a baby mama back in 06. Long story. Yeah, listen, that's a whole nother conversation that we need to have about baby mamas, because, you know, some men will judge those scenarios, but when you happen to be single and childless, you are part of the 54% of men that are single and childless, or at least black men, sorry. But for some men, when you have children, who's the best person to date? For some men, it's easier to date a single mom because they can relate to you having a kid. And some of these single women who don't have kids, yeah, they might still get with a man who's a single father or who's a father. So there's a bunch of nuance to these conversations that we need to understand. Thank you, Black by Design, for the $5 super chat. Much appreciated. Thank you so much. The Army is a foe and ain't for us. Oh, listen, that's a whole nother conversation as well, okay? I'm not going to disagree with you. It should be damn near a last resort. But for some men, sometimes you got to do what you got to do to be where you want to be at. Sometimes you got to do what you don't want to do to get to where you want to be at. All right? Yep, you're part of the 54%. Don Wesley, a veteran mistrust. Do your 20. Get what you can. Get in line. Hurry up. Shut up. That's a good way to put it there, man. Paul, thank you for coming through. 45, single and childless. But I have a lot of nieces and nephews, great nieces and great nephews. Yeah. And, you know, and you still get that bit of fatherhood because as an uncle, you have to be a leader to those kids. If you love your nieces, these great nieces and nephews, you want them to see your example. That's what a leader does. A leader leads by their own example. Hence what I try to tell y'all about me. I told y'all I ain't perfect. I tell y'all my stories so that y'all can understand that I'm a person too, and I've made mistakes. But I've corrected those mistakes. I've tried to get better. And I'm not going to always get it right. But I can tell you, I'm always striving to be the best version of Sean that I could be. And that's really all we can do in this life, man. That's really all we can do is to learn from the mistakes. I'm just a fun uncle. Yeah, you know what? Being the fun uncle means you can give them back. Okay? You're a grandparent, you can give them kids back. Turkey Hill 19. I served in the Army. Thank you for your service. Now I'm chilling. Yup. Same here, man. Yup. Got a shout out from a lot of us veterans up in here, man. A lot of veteran support here, man. I appreciate each and every one of them. Always give them back. Always give them little boogers back, man. For sure, for sure. All right. Where we at? We got 3 clips left. All right, now we're starting to wind this down. This woman is going to bring up something. This is to my divorced men out there, okay? Or my men that have left long-term committed relationships. Maybe you had a kid, maybe you didn't. But a lot of times, we just saw in the last clip how society consoles women when they're crying and when they feel bad. Yeah. I swear it's the same time every night. It must be 6 p.m. Nope, 6:30. God dang. All right. Anyway, a lot of these women look for that consoling and that consolation, right? But when we as men are in relationships that aren't serving us well, we are long suffering in relationships, especially a good man. A good man will wait it out. He'll deal with certain things that he shouldn't deal with. And I'm telling you, you shouldn't. I'm saying talk about it, try to have these conversations. But sometimes, ladies, and I'm talking to the ladies right now, sometimes us men leave for the sake of our own mental health. And little gets talked about this. And this lady brings this up. That's why I thought this was a very important video to bring up for our next clip.
I have a question. How come when men take the same liberties as women, when it comes to them choosing their mental health and their peace of mind, and he decides that this woman that he's in a relationship with, that he has children with, is causing more harm than help to the relationship, and he chooses to leave, now he's deemed as being wrong because he's created yet another single family household. But when a woman gets tired and a woman gets fed up, and she starts to know her worth, and she believes that this man is now causing more harm than help to the relationship, and it's no longer beneficial to her, when she leaves, how come she's not deemed to be the reason why she has created a single family household? See, it's cool when a woman does it. Black Lives Matter. But when a man puts his mental health and his peace of mind in the forefront, you're dead wrong, because you're doing nothing but creating another single family household. Is this shit not a revolving door? I'm just confused. I'm just trying to figure out how come certain liberties only apply when a woman does it, but when a man take those same liberties, it's swept up under the rug. I forgot. That's because men are deemed to be providers. I forgot. And women are nurturers. Well, if you nurture that fucking bad, why would you allow your child to be brought up in a single family household? And I'm not saying stay, but I'm just curious. Call me back.
So, look, I wanted to bring that clip up just to say that we always talk about women choosing the correct men, but sometimes the women be the issue. And that's what I showed in the last video with the single moms, right? I specifically put in that single mom video I put out last week that there are things that single moms do that men put up with, and the whole while their mental health is affected by it. It declines because of it. And we don't want to talk about that. We don't want to talk about how this stuff affects men. We don't want to talk about how some men are at the point of the breaking point. It happened to me, man. I tell y'all all the time, this year will be the 10th anniversary of when my Ford Eddie Bauer expedition and I tried to play chicken with a transporter bus. I lost, but I didn't lose my life. And so I'm coming up on 10 years of being alive still. And I was at my mental breaking point 10 years ago, man. I really was. And I've had more of those times happen since I've been retired. I've had more of those times. Devastating stuff. Stuff that you would ask me, are you okay? And the answer is yes. I went and got help. I talk about it all the time. I'm not ashamed to say that I went to therapy because I had to deal with those things, those losses, those traumas. And as I told you guys, in the pandemic, it got really quiet. And when it got quiet, the things I had been suppressing and pushing down, the hurt, the pain, the loss, started to surface. And this time, unlike 10 years ago, when I ran my SUV into that transporter bus, I was smart enough this time to say, yo, I need help. So this lady brings up a point about prioritizing your mental health as a man. If you need the help, go get the help. Go talk to somebody. But don't think you can do it by yourself. Maybe you can, but most of us can't. We need to talk to somebody. Okay? Brother here learned the hard way. Give men the knowledge needed for a better way. Man, I'm trying, you know? And I'm glad you're still here. I'm glad I'm still here too, man. Almost ruined my career too, man. Really almost did. It's hyenas choosing male hyenas. Yeah. Yeah. No, look, you guys know the deal, man. You guys know the deal. I told you, man, I know that. Look, I was very focused on this content today because I knew it was powerful, right? I knew it was powerful. Now, ladies and gents, this man, this older man who got a bunch of businesses, who's doing well financially, he thought he had his queen, man. And we're about to hear his story, okay? So we're about to hear his story. And he's going to give us some advice. And I'm going to tell you if I agree with it or don't. But it's real advice. Here it is.
Congratulations to you, man. I heard you just closed on 3 multi-million-dollar contracts.
Yes, that was yeah.
But then your wife left you. Life, bro.
So are you asking a question?
Yeah, I guess the question is.
That's a grown, hey y'all, that's a grown ass man right there. You knew this dude was a grown ass man when he said, is this a question? Like this dude didn't pull no punches, man. Hold up, let's go.
Man, like, did that make you be like, well, maybe this is timing, it just is what it is, or like?
I had a revelation. And the revelation is,
pay attention,
young
man.
kings, focus on the bag. After you get the bag, choose what's best for you. Not what you want, choose what's best for you. Before you get to the bag, do your due diligence to pray to whoever it is you pray to or meditate that your blessings actually be on hold until you are aligned with your destiny so that you don't lose your blessings. I need you to understand. Focus on your bag. Pray, meditate that you have the discernment to have people in your life who are going to elevate you and not suck you dry.
Look, man, well, I'm going to tell y'all, if you didn't know, I don't disagree with what he's saying. Listen, you getting the bag ain't about being flashy. It ain't about getting these women. It's about your legacy. It's about being in a position that you control your destiny and others aren't controlling it for you. And then he said, pray to whoever you got to pray to for you to have the discernment to not only understand who it is you are allowing into your life, but that the things that come into your life aren't a hindrance to your purpose. Because through your purpose, if it's a true and good purpose, it will bless the people who are around you. So now we always talk about women choosing the right path. We as men have to choose the right path as well. A lot of these women will say, you as a man need to be out there working and getting a bag. But they say that from a selfish standpoint because it benefits them. And this man is saying, no, go out and let the work of your hands bless you. And that knowledge you learn along the way, hopefully it allows you to have a discerning spirit and to be able to try the spirits of those who you allow in your life. Unfortunately, you don't want to get to my age and the age of some of the brothers in this chat before you learn that lesson. You want to learn it young. You want to learn it early. But it's okay if you stumble, right? I talked about this last week. If you get knocked down in a fight, don't just get up right away. Take that 8 count, right? We talked about this last week. Take that 8 count and figure out what you need to do so when you get up, you don't make the same mistake you made that got you knocked down in the first place. You understand? So getting the bag is for a completely different reason than just being able to be flashy and get girls. My other advice to you is if you're starting to make money, live below your means, man. You don't have to be flashy for no one. There is time for it. Oh, I'm going to get too old. No, you're going to be fine, man. If you're doing what you need to do in your business and your work, your purpose, taking care of your body, eating right, doing the things you need to do, there is time for all the rest of that stuff. And you'll be smarter about it too, because you won't want to lose what you've worked hard for. And a woman who is worth her salt isn't going to take away from that. She's going to help you be even better. That's the key. Anyone that comes into your life, not just the women, but anybody in your life, if they're not helping you to continue on building on your purpose, then why are they there? What are they there for? Y'all get it? I hope y'all get it, man. Trying to help somebody tonight. The last clip of the night, and we're going to get out of here. We'll get to the question of the day. I'll catch a few more comments and we'll get out of here because, like I told you, I didn't want this to be a 3-hour live stream tonight. I want to get started on the next video, or at least started on it. You know what I mean? So it'll at least be out by Friday. My goal is to have a video out by Friday at 4 p.m. My real goal is to have it out by tomorrow at 4 p.m. But it's a lot of work between now and then, so we'll see. All right. Kevin Samuels in this next clip, and he's going to end us off. Kevin Samuels is going to talk about the division that we have in the Black community particularly, right? Not to disparage, our non-melanated color brothers and sisters, but all this goes together. But particularly and specifically in the Black community, we have a bunch of issues, and Kevin Samuels is going to talk about it.
The biggest problem in Black America is not racism, white supremacy. It's the sobering reality that Black men and Black women don't get along. And we really can't sit around as men and women and even like each other enough to where you think smiling at a brother is offensive and you think treating her decent enough to open the door for us makes you a simp. Where are we gonna go? We spend more time beefing than building. Well, let's beef while we build. But if we building, we're gonna be too tired to beef.
See, why I ended off with this clip of the late great Godfather, for whatever problems some of you people, some of the problems that you people have with the Godfather is that he spoke truth and you didn't want to hear it. He was that brother for some of us. He was that uncle for some of us. He was that dad, some of us. He was that coach. He was that teacher. Was he always right? No. But on this, he's speaking the truth. A woman can't even give us a smile. I talk about all the time how when I was down and living in Mexico, how 70% of the brothers would say what's up back when I Gave them the, you know what it is. It's customary. How you got this skin and you pass a black person and you can't even do the, we all know that's customary. We know the, we know the nod. And you can't even do that back to another brother that you see in another country. Man, we should be all happy for each other that we're able to escape the matrix together. But 70% of men did it. I still think that should have been higher. But you know what? 70%, 7 out of 10 men, good numbers. What do y'all think the ratio of women when I would say hi or do the nod to our sisters? What do y'all think that number was? Don't worry, I'll wait. What do y'all think that number was? About 20% of the black women that I saw when I lived outside or when I lived in Mexico would acknowledge me back. They're visiting. I lived there. I thought that was sad. I seen some of the sisters in those clubs in groups of 5, 6 or more, looking all mad and depressed. Like people should come and just talk to them. Not that they should be open and friendly and inviting and engaging. This is why, ladies, I'm talking to you ladies now. This is why some men are just they don't even talk to y'all no more because you're not approachable. Why the men don't approach us no more? You're not approachable. You got a big ass frown on your face. You got the RBF, right? You got RBF going on. Why is any man gonna want to come up to you like that? Well, he should talk. He should want to come talk to me. Why? Men like friendly women too. 10%. Sometimes it was 10% on a particular day, but I would say about 20%. 2 out of every 10 black women I saw while I was out of the country would give me an acknowledgement back when I said something to them, which is freaking rude. If you ask me, it's damn rude. Okay. The last 2 men talked about building. And this is what we talk about on this channel. We as men, ladies, this is for the men now. Men, I'm speaking to you. We as men have an obligation to ourselves and our future families to continue to always work to be the best version of ourselves. Despite what these women are saying, despite what these women are doing, we have a higher calling. And for you all that believe in a higher power, you know that it is called upon us to walk upright. You know this. So what are you doing? Young men, I've partied in so many places in the country and in different countries. I've lived in 20% of the states. I've lived in 10 states, 10 out of 50. I've been to 40 out of 50. Been to 80%. I've done 6 cross-country road trips. Forget the other countries right now. I'm just talking about being in the States. I've been all over this country. I've traveled up, across, both sides. I've been through the middle. I have seen this country. And I say that to say this. There is so much out there for you. Do not get bogged down to think that the situation that you're in has to be the situation you stay in. I said this last week, but courage isn't the absence of fear. Courage is doing something that's right despite the fear. That's courage. There's no courage in doing something that's easy or has no inherent risk. There's no courage if there's no risk. So young men, I say to say I've partied all over. I've been all over. And if I can do it all over again, obviously for myself, I'm okay. I'm happy where I'm at now. But if I could do it over again, I wouldn't party as much. I would have saved the hundreds of thousands of dollars that I've come across over my time. Okay? Just in bonuses alone, I've made more than some of you all have made in your lifetime. And I have nothing to show for it. Do not make my mistake. If you want to party and have a good time, build on yourself first. There'll be time for that later. But you have a higher calling. And when you have that higher calling, sometimes you have to sacrifice that time. You guys will sacrifice your whole life over a woman. I've done it over women and lose everything instead of sacrificing the time for yourself and giving yourself a better life. I'm just saying. Anyway, question of the day. Why do you think modern women are so defensive when someone calls them out? Why do you think women get defensive about it? Why does it appear, and I'm going to use that word, why does it appear that a lot of women are afraid to take accountability for their actions? Why do women allow that feeling of feeling bad overtake them taking accountability and learning from it and improving from it? Why is that so hard? Now, I've heard women say, well, men don't take accountability. No, some men do not take accountability. But show me a man who doesn't take accountability, and that's what he does, and I'm going to show you a failure of a man. A man, in order for him to reach his fullest potential, at some point, he will have to take accountability. It's impossible for, I can say impossible. I'm saying it's a very small percentage chance that a person, a man who lives and not taking accountability is going to be a successful man. It just don't work. It don't even work as a leadership tactic. You will fail. Please answer that down in the comments below. Let me first say thank you for tonight's sponsors, Black by Design, $30 in super chats. I know it says 25 there. Drew for the $20 super chat. Chosen for the $10 super chat. And look, despite what people might think, I appreciate each and every one of you guys who contribute to this channel. Okay? The reason that we're close to 35,000 subs is because of you. The reason that this channel is having success is because of you all. You all who faithfully watch every video. And I don't put out videos every day like some of these other channels, and I'm not knocking their hustle. It's just strange to me that you have someone in the comments upset that I get that some of you all want to contribute to the channel, yet they don't want to acknowledge the amount of work that goes into doing this. This is my purpose, and I take it very seriously, even when I'm joking. Okay? Because I want us to have a fun time. And I do these live streams. You know, could these live streams have more views? Absolutely. But I don't do these live streams for the views. This is probably one of the few things I do that isn't about the views. The live streams are for you, the gents, for us to have this interactive conversation with each other. And I know I only do it once a week, but it's a lot of work that goes into it and a lot of energy. So trust me when I say it's not lost on me that you all help support the channel through whether it be Super Chat, Cash App, or just by supporting and watching every video from beginning to end, and maybe one after that. All of that is supporting the channel. And we're going to continue to grow, and I hope you will be a part of my journey, part of this journey with the gents. Not my journey, our journey. Okay? Let me catch a few more comments and we'll get up out of here. Where are we at? Q said we're supposed to just take it. Some people think we are, like, right? We're supposed to have these emotions. We need to be more emotionally intelligent. But then when we are in touch, the men that are like in touch with their emotions the way women want to see it, then they laugh at those dudes. When Tyrese was crying because he couldn't see his kids, it wasn't men laughing at him, it was women. When Kevin Samuels, when the Godfather passed away, who left the nastiest comments? It was women. Couldn't even respect the man in death. That's what we used to do. I don't know if anybody told some of you guys, but when someone passed away, you might have a few choice words, but you also kept your peace on a lot of stuff. You know, there's the little rumors at the funeral and stuff like that, but you pretty much let it go. They're not here anymore to defend themselves. There's an honor and a respect that was there. And you let the dead lie. A lot of people don't know that. All facts. Big man on the camera, the video, Sean said it so well. Feeling no accountability, arguing. Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. Rest in peace, Kevin Samuels. Thank you, Red Planet Photography. Appreciate it. Talking ain't working, ain't learning. Yep. Yeah, we do too much damn talking. The actions. Black by Design thought it was 10%. Nope, it was actually 20%. Not going to lie on the women's. Yeah, a time machine would be great, but we can't go back in time. All we have is the now. We never have the future, and we don't have the past anymore. So the now is the most important time. The time for change is always now, because we're living perpetually in now. Every moment is now. I don't want to get too deep on the metaphysics on that, but foolish, immature gals, young and old, will make a relationship a competition against a fella and a gent. Yeah, like a relationship should not be a competition. You all should be working. If you love me and I love you, then I'm working to be the best I can and do the best I can for you and you for me. Simple. It should be that simple. And if it ain't that simple, evaluate why it's not that simple and realize it, have that talk. And if that talk ain't fruitful, it might be time for you to move on. But don't waste that time. Okay? He said, I'd be a billionaire. Man, I shudder to think what I could have done had I had the right direction. But I also realized too that I had things because of growing up with a single mom. There were things that I was going to have to learn, and I had to learn it through the school of hard knocks. So unfortunately, some of us are knuckleheads, and I was one of them. Effinism messed it up for everybody. It did. It did. It has not done us any favors. Yes, there are some things that are great that feminism has done for women, and I'll be the first to agree on that. Some things were good changes, but it's never, it stopped being about those good principles, and it stopped being about equality. See, this is just a good buzzword, but it's no longer about equality. And that's the part when we're not talking about equity, like you're not, ladies, you do not deserve equity of outcome. You don't deserve that. You don't deserve to have the same outcome as somebody else if they're outworking you, if they're a better person than you. But you should be given equity of opportunity. Now tell me, ladies, what is something that you aren't allowed to do in this day and age that the women of before had the privilege of doing? You have more opportunities now than any woman has ever had in the history of historydom. Okay? Aside from those kingdoms that were ran by women. Okay? There were some kingdoms ran by women. Oh, Stockholm Syndrome. Yeah, I missed that. Sorry, messed it up. Donna says, made too many black women think that was the path to be white women. Yes. See, y'all going down a rabbit hole before I do. Stockholm Syndrome. Yeah, being sympathetic to your captors. Stockholm Syndrome. Absolutely. A man that ain't shite. Yeah. Kyle says, keep up the good work, bro. It's helped me out a lot. Man, that's what we're here for. This is for us to talk. This is for us to discuss these things. Sometimes it's going to be easy to discuss. Sometimes you're not going to agree with me, but that's okay. It's an outlet for us to be able to do it. And I'm proud of it. Appreciate the hard work you do. Thank you, Preston. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. Investing in each other, that ain't faking, and taking is paramount. Yes. Yes. Coming in and out of that cold cells and streets. Gonna send our brother here some soon. Yeah, no, all good. There's another video I want to make too. I have the clips. I just don't know how to put it together. You know what? I know the video, and I've been waiting to make this video. So I've already got 4 other videos in the making that I'm going to do. But one of them I've been wanting to make for damn near over a year. And y'all going to know when I tell you. Y'all ready? I've been wanting to make this video for a while to help out, especially the young brothers and the brothers that are on the wrong path. The name of the video, I don't know the exact title, but you'll get it when I tell you. Actually, I'm going to type it in the chat, and then I'm going to say it. All right, I just put it in the chat. It should pop up here in a second. I want to talk about ninjas versus black people. And I have some clips of some brothers, a brother that was in prison, and I have the clips, but they're in so many different folders. I just need to put the concept together. And I don't know why I've been holding off on it, but I think I've gained enough clips now to actually make it into a video. Okay? Ninjas is messing it. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But ninjas is messing it up for some of us hardworking, good black folk that's just trying to make it out here in this world. Okay? Ninjas is giving us a bad name. In that video, we're going to talk about all of that. Yeah, I know. Right. Kyle, it's been a year, bro. I just needed to get the right, because if you think about it, that video is going to be a huge video. You know what I mean? Like, so I just want to make sure when I do it right. My time is going to be my peace, quiet, and freedom. Absolutely. Donald says time is money. Sometimes it's worth way more. Respect. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. Listen, gents, you guys have been great tonight. Again, I noticed this subject got a little deep sometime tonight, but I knew it would. And we sometimes have to have those deep conversations. And that is why I do them on these live streams. And I couldn't do it without your support. Thank you all for being here tonight. Again, I appreciate each and every one of you guys. And until next time, live your best life.